Right, 6,500 points of 40k miniatures with 4,800 of Astra Militarum, 1,500 points of Custodes, and about 200 points of Inquisition. Did one of these videos about a year ago, and I've painted a lot more since then. So starting off with the headquarter Astra Militarum units, we've got quite a few commissars. On the left is a Legends model, and then Commissar Yarrick, which I think I bought when I was about 16 years old, and then obviously Colonel Strachan, Mr. Creed, company commanders, and also a Primaris Psyker. I've then got the best part of 8 infantry squads, almost, with the last squad missing about 2 individual guardsmen. So critically, got a heap of patrons in here. Got some Sergeant Brady, Guardsman Tom, Combs, Heels, Nitin, Nguyen, and Tonkin. So much love coming from them, support from the patron platoon. And then you've got Sergeant Zadal, Gilliam, and Sergeant Merrill leading individual squads of infantry. So I've got 8 squads of infantry. Then on to the elites. So very important also is Carlos Sergeant DuPont, my longest serving patron, and a heap of other elite characters. So Mr. Sergeant Harker, I've also given him and Colonel Strachan before a cape to keep them warm in the snow. And then I've got Sly Marbo, my own Kit Bash Minister and Priest, Master Ordnance, Tech Presentancy, and Mr. Dead Dog. And then a medic, which I'd never ever used once at all. Then a veteran squad. That's where a heap of other patrons live. So veterans Gibson, Hall, and Dean, and Witten. Now you can see it's a pretty beefed up squad. I don't actually play it because obviously it's they're too fragile in the current meta, but hopefully whenever 9th edition Codex comes out, they get a bit of a boost. Then I've got a 4-man sniper command squad with some kit bashed snipers. And then the more important, well, the more stuff you use actually a lot more is 4 blobs of, 2 blobs or 4 Bulgrams. Transports is 2 flame buses Chimeras, or Chimeras. That's meant to be a hellhound, but looks like a devil dog. And then I've got 3 scout / 1 armored sentinel. So quickly before I move on to the heavy support, which is a boatload of miniatures, I'll then go on to the scions. So I need to paint a boatload more scions, but they are led by Lieutenant Mitchell, who's a Tempesta Prime, and then 3 squads with mostly plasma. Now quickly hopping on to the Inquisition, so I've got my favourite miniature, Mr. Eisenhorn, probably my best dude to date, looking really sharp. And then I've done a video about these kit bashed acolytes. So the idea was to be they are all ex-Astra Militarum troopers, or in that particular example, an enforcer who've been recruited into work for Mr. Eisenhorn. So basically 3x3 squads of multi-melters, storm bolters, and bolters. And then an assassin, the Calidus, I think so, the mesomorph one. And these are just for show. I've done these ages ago. These are some kit bashed using different parts from Anvil Industry and Victorian miniatures, I think in Australia, to produce some Mordians and some Vostroyans. So that is all the infantry bits and pieces and a couple of transport cars. Then on to heavy support for Astra Militarum. Now we've got Tank Commander Glenn, one of my lead patrons, and Tank Commander Watchdog Van Etten, being 2 tank commanders. Triple Flamer Demolishers, which I actually use that a lot. And then a battle cannon with las cannons, the typical layout there. I've then got 1, 2, 3, 4, including a bird poo covered Lemon Russ. But I field, most games I'm probably taking, 2 commanders and 2 Lemon Russ, typically with demolishers. Okay, and then it's on to, of course, 2 compulsory 4 payload manticores. A Basilisk, which I've actually started to play a bit more recently. And then I've done a specific video on this thing, but this is the Armageddon Pattern Medusa, which is basically a 36-inch range demolisher siege cannon, not requiring line of sight. Absolute terror to build, but it's a lot of fun to create. I can't show it here, but there's some wicked interior detail on that. Then of course is the mighty Bandblade. One day we'll be able to use this on the tabletop. That was a pleasure to build. You can see a little crewman there, got his hatch open for a better bit of visibility. But I played as a standard Bandblade, of course, with double flamers and las cannons. So one day we'll be able to use a Bandblade. Let's hope one day. Okay, then on to the Custodes. So I've actually been collecting them since the end of 8th edition. I swear I'm not a meta chaser. But I started actually doing them at the very end of 8th edition. I bought my first Custodes model, and now obviously they're amazing, so it is nice to play them. Played them yesterday, they were good fun. So that is Trajan. He's an absolute tank of a model. This shield captain, also a spec him out, and he's an absolute unit. 5 prosecutors, who are the Null Maidens. And the funny thing with the Custodes is, as I've painted them, got better. Some of the paint jobs are fantastic, like theirs, quite vibrant, some are quite dull. So currently I've got then 3 of the shield and sword dudes, 3 stabby spears, 3 Terminators, and 2 squads of 3 jet bike dudes. Finished off with the Palace Gravitak, I think it's called. It's a 1500 points there, and the focus for these is that, you know, it's just so much fun to play something so different where everything is accurate and it survives for ages, versus obviously this, which dies pretty quickly. And obviously this is really inaccurate and this is ridiculously accurate, so it's a nice mix. But yeah, hopefully it's stimulating. Obviously in the meta we are struggling from a competitive point of view, but you know, you just got to stick with it. But yeah, it's been a labour of love. Hopefully it's encouraging for you all to have a go. You know, try out some Inquisition dudes. I've got some videos which I'll put some links up, but they were fun to build. I do need to build some more Scions, definitely do. And then I've got about enough for 8 squads almost of infantry, so yeah, should be good. But yep, hopefully you found that interesting, stimulating and encouraging. If you've got any videos or any photos of your army, please do share them on Instagram. My Insta handle is also Guardsman Hannon. So thanks for watching. Patron Platoon, sound off.
Tank Commander Glenn, Tank Commander Watchdog Van Etten, Lieutenant Mitchell, Colour Sergeant DuPont, Sergeants Brady, Adal, Gilliam, Merrill, Veterans Gibson, Hall, Lundeen, Witten, Guardsman Combs, Hill, Nitton, Nguyen, Smith, Tom, Tonkin, Conscript Craft.